Hey y'all, it's Brandon
and Stephanie
from Getting Gazelle.
And so we've been a little MIA and we want to explain what happened. So this is a little bit of a life update. We had a stomach virus go through our house and is still going through our house with our 3 youngest children, which are all boys. So Thursday we got a call saying to come pick up Xander from school 15 minutes before school was over because apparently he had thrown up all over his desk and papers and folders and it was bad.
Oh, to be the custodian that day.
Underpaid, underappreciated. So we did that. Friday we had planned to drive to Minneapolis, St. Paul, also known as the Cities here in Minnesota. And so that's what we did. Our sitter, who used to be a nanny, was perfectly fine with the situation that we had going on. Xander hadn't vomited all day on Thursday. He just laid around and watched some cartoons and was fine. So we left Friday night.
He hadn't vomited all day on Friday. Thursday is when he got picked up from school.
Oh, did I say that wrong?
Yep. So
I said that wrong.
It's all good. He didn't have anything wrong with him on Friday.
Right, but you can't go to school until you're 24 hours vomit free, which is the end of school Friday. So he had to stay home. So then we headed out and drove to the Cities. And what we were doing is we were celebrating our anniversary about 2 weeks early. Our anniversary is actually Easter weekend this year. And we would never expect to try and get childcare on Easter weekend or want to spend time away from our children during Easter because that is a huge holiday for us. So it's been a long time coming. It's been a big, convoluted plan. But basically, we bought our Broadway tickets. Beauty and the Beast Broadway was coming to Minneapolis. And we found out about it in November, December. And so as a Christmas gift to each of us, we bought our tickets. And that's all we did for exchanging gifts between the two of us. So then we had to figure out the rest of how we were going to make it a budget on the cheap. And so I'll let Brandon explain the hotel.
So when we moved to Minnesota, my company put us in a hotel in 2 rooms for 60 days. 60
days?
With 5 children.
With 5 children.
So there are some perks to live in a hotel. Definitely not the crowded part of it, but there are some perks. One of those perks is you get to earn the hotel points, even though you're not really paying for the room because my company was paying for that. So we have an overabundance of Hilton Honors points, and because we stayed for 60 nights, it also automatically put us in the Diamond status, which is the highest level you can be.
And they were running a promotion for the summer where we got double points. So we have bukus of hotel points.
Yep, so we were able to stay in a very, very, very nice hotel in the Cities called the Marquette by Hilton. And the Marquette is really like a kind of a boutique kind of a hotel. So we were able to stay there completely free on points. And we even got a bigger discount than that, and I'll explain that in a second.
It was walking distance to the theater, so we didn't have to worry about parking and traffic and all that. We just had to pay to park our vehicle in the hotel, the parking garage next to the hotel.
And we got a discount on that. It was normally $25 a night, but because we stayed at the hotel, it was $17 a night.
Right.
So not too shabby. For $34 is basically all we had to pay. Or did I do that math right?
Yes, $34 for 2 nights parking.
For 2 nights parking. When we got there on Friday, we checked into the hotel. Because we're Diamond members, we were able to go up to the executive lounge, and they have heavy hors d'oeuvres at night, which were fantastic. There's a restaurant there called Basil that we found out provides all the food for the lounge, also for the kind of the bar area lounge that's downstairs in the hotel, and then of course their restaurant. But so they had mini egg rolls one night, meatballs one night, amazing fruit, very, very fresh, but cold cuts, yep, Gatorade, sodas, and all that was free. You could definitely have dinner just on that type stuff, or snack later on. So we did that on Friday to kind of hold us over until we got to the mall. We wanted to go to the mall that night, and I had received a bonus from work, and the way that our bonus structure works with what we call spot bonuses is it's not cash. You get to redeem however many points that you received in your bonus on a website for gift cards and things like that. So we redeemed that for a $50 gift card to the Hard Rock Cafe, and that covered, pretty much all of our dinner for that night at the Mall of America. So we were virtually able to eat for free. By eating at the Hard Rock Cafe, another one of our plans was to go see Cinderella on opening night at the Mall of America, and they have a thing where you can eat and or dine and see a movie, and the movie tickets are only $7.50 if you get them from the Hard Rock Cafe. So we were also able to get a discount on the movie tickets in addition to that. So we were kind of double dipping there.
So we got hotel tickets for $15. We had just eaten, so we got one drink to split.
What, movie tickets?
Or what did I say?
Hotel tickets.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm going to have to splice this together.
So we got movie tickets for $15.
For $15. And because we had just eaten, we got a drink to split during the show. And then we returned back to our hotel, and our room wasn't cold at all. One of the first things we do when we go into a hotel is we change the thermostat because they make it really high. And we've shared in our 10 things we're not willing to cheap out on that we like air conditioning, we like air movement. So we had done that, but our room still wasn't cold. But we just kind of dealt with it for the night. We thought it was because we took really hot baths in the huge tub.
We had a huge jetted tub, and we also were on a corner room that had windows all the way around, and we were on the 14th floor. So, we kind of just thought maybe heat rises. There are other people that are cold, and we have the windows around, so kind of a greenhouse effect. And maybe the AC is trying to work, but it's just not working very good.
Yes.
Until the next day, we woke up and it probably felt like it was 80 to 85 degrees in the room.
It was not fun.
Which we were going all day to the zoo, and I said, I kind of looked at the thermostat and I said, let's just leave it like this for the day, and we'll see when we get back. So we went to the Minnesota Zoo, where we also received a discount. We try not to spend full price on anything, so we had a reciprocal membership with the Lake Superior Zoo that allowed us to get into the Minnesota Zoo for half price. So for our parking and both of our tickets, it was only $25.
And it was beautiful. It was an amazing
fantastic zoo.
Probably one of our favorite zoos. We're zoo goers. Like, we like to go to zoos. And so we've been to some pretty amazing ones. We've been to Washington, D.C. and San Diego. This one, I think, was probably our favorite setup.
Yep, it was very nice because we know now that, as harsh as the winters are here, we could still do that zoo in the wintertime because over half of that zoo was all indoors. And it didn't feel like you were indoors. It felt like you were, it had trees around. It felt like you were outdoors. It was like a tropical environment. And
it didn't smell. Even though we were indoors, we expected there to be an odor. I know Washington, D.C., some of the buildings, when you go in, they stink really bad. But there was no odor at all. In fact, their cafeteria is actually somewhat attached to the rest of the zoo, and you could not smell any animals at all. I have like spidey senses, and I couldn't smell any animals at all during the whole time we were at the zoo, which is amazing.
Yep.
So I took some footage of us coming back from the zoo for those of you who haven't seen the Minneapolis skyline. And so I'm talking and facing the camera's facing the skyline, and so I'll put that in at the end of the footage because some people might not be interested in that.
So we get back to the room, and it is still really, really hot. So I call down, and at this point, it's probably close to 5 o'clock. I call down, and they say they're going to send someone up. Well, he gets up there maybe a half hour later, and he kind of goes away and says there's not really much he can do. So I call back down, and they say they're going to send a fan up, which did not please me very much. But at that point, there's not much we could do. I said, okay, we're going to go ahead. We do have an event to go to tonight, but we're going to leave the room and go to the lounge.
Hold on. You forgot to tell them why the air conditioning was the way it was.
Well, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
So we go up to the lounge, and then we come back, and the fan is still not there. So I call back, and I say, it's super hot in the room. We have to start getting ready. But, you know, obviously we don't want to be sweating while we're getting ready. We're going to a nice event. And I said, you know, do we have any resolution on, you know, when the AC is going to be fixed? And they said, well, here, we actually don't turn the AC on for the hotel until April. And that's why it's not working. So we couldn't believe that.
No matter what the temperature is, the air conditioning does not turn on until April.
And I did express, I said, on your website, it says that there's individual thermostats in every room. You know, as nice as this hotel is, we would have never expected not to have, you know, complete control of our air conditioner. Well, we finally get the fan, and
we plug it in.
We plug it in as we're about to start getting ready, and we lose power in our room.
Stephanie is flat ironing her hair, and the whole bathroom power goes out.
So anybody that knows me knows that, you know, in my profession and in personal life, I'm huge on customer experience for any company that I deal with. I feel like, you know, we work hard to make our pennies squeal, as you've seen in our other videos. And, you know, we work hard to, you know, be able to have those type of experiences. So when I called back and told them that our power had gone out and that we needed to be leaving within the next 30 to 40 minutes.
Pause. Stephanie had moved the straightening iron to the desk because that's the only place I could find a outlet. And I ended up using my iPad camera so I could have a mirror because there was no mirror around. So not happy.
When the fan was delivered, for our inconveniences, they had put in a card that was handwritten that apologized for the inconvenience with 2 vouchers to go to the like the bar area downstairs that night for appetizers. We didn't realize appetizers covered the entire menu: burgers, fries, 14-inch pizzas, and 2 non-alcoholic drinks. So that covered our dinner for the night. So that was very nice. And they also included 2 certificates for breakfast the next day at Basil, which was probably the best breakfast I think I've ever had.
I'll have a picture at the end.
It was fantastic.
It was amazing.
And it was about a $45 breakfast that was free other than the gratuity.
And we tipped well because we had amazing service.
Yeah, and it was just so good. So once the power went out, because of the fan, I called back and I said, now our power's out, and they were going to send someone up. But in the meantime, she said that, you know, she, you know, super duper apologized. She hated that our trip was going the way that it was and refunded all the points that we had to spend for the room for both nights.
So now we still have bukus of points that have to be used and no plans.
But a huge shout out to Hilton for really owning the customer experience and making sure that we were taken care of. So by doing that, instead of us, you know, kind of saying, well, you know, we had this trip and this was kind of the things that went wrong, but we dealt with it. We're probably going to be lifelong Hilton fans just because of the way that they own the experience.
Yes, and we would probably stay in the same hotel if we go back for Broadway, just because of the way that they took care of things and the way that they took ownership. We know that things aren't going to be perfect. We're not perfect people. I don't run my house perfectly. My children aren't perfect, but it's all on how you deal with it and how you make it. It gives you an opportunity to make things better and make changes. And so shout out to Hilton because that was amazing. Yep. And it really stretched our budget even further. So what we did was we took the money that we were going to spend on our meals that were comped, and we bought some gifts for our children. And it's always neat when you can bless your children, but to bless them with something from Mall of America, which is very new to them, and we got characters that they're really, really into, and they were brand new in the package, not garage sale finds by mommy. It was just really neat to watch, and so our kids did fine. The stomach virus started while we were gone, and our sitter was amazing.